Hi everyone, welcome to Value. So today we're looking at the Rocket Lab, and the stock's kind of holding well in amongst what's happened in the last trading week. Like everything's just mostly been sold down. So it's holding well at $26.90, which gives it a valuation of $13.5 billion. So the exciting thing about the company is the recent announcement. They've put out that they've had an agreement with NASA to provide launch services. So that's a big sign of confidence by NASA of their current rocket, and also by them that they think everything is going well. So it's more or less just what you would expect them to say. Nothing really specific about numbers entirely in terms of what kind of revenue it's going to bring. But it's good. It's definitely going to be material. Like, it's a great agreement that's brings the company closer to the $1 billion agreements, contracts that are up for grabs. So the fact that they continue to partner with NASA means there's a really, really good chance that they could be chosen for one of those contracts that was the $5.6 billion contract over 5 years. Imagine them getting that. That would really, really send shockwaves around all investors. Everyone would be wanting a piece of Rocket Lab after that. So I think this continues to build on that, and it also has a lot of confidence around Rocket Lab getting Neutron done. So Neutron, if you don't know a lot about it, it's basically a rocket that's going to send 13,000 kgs to low Earth orbit. It gives them so much capabilities to launch larger satellites, and also it means in the future they have the same capabilities as SpaceX, where they can start sending their own satellites and offering their own services. So like with SpaceX, they have Starlink. Who knows what Rocket Lab has in their mind, what they want to do, but obviously they've got plans for that, because they have spoken about add-on services, and I think that's really going to just change the company completely. So there's a lot kind of like hanging on Neutron, and this announcement just kind of builds on that. Like the recent this last sentence phrase just kind of really gives you some really good confidence. So significant progress continues to be made on the rocket's launch site on Wallops Island, Virginia, with the site's completion expected in the coming months. So the site will be done in the coming months, which is a great sign, because they shouldn't have that many problems setting up the site, but it's more the rocket, because obviously there's things that can be unforeseen that could happen. So production, infrastructure scaling in both Archimedes engines and full-scale components testing is continuing at pace across Rocket Lab's various productions and test sites throughout United States. Neutron is scheduled for its debut launch from Rocket Lab's Launch Complex 3 in Virginia from mid-2025. So if anything was a good confirmation they're on track, this is basically it. So basically we'll know probably in April if things are all set to go, because basically everything should more or less be assembled or close to being assembled into that complete rocket, and then obviously they've got a lot of test working to do before they actually put it through a launch. So yeah, it's going to be a really, really exciting next 5-6 months, and one that possibly just changes the value of this company completely. So I think closer to getting to that phase, you kind of see the stock price moving upwards to that, because I think the market in general is going to perceive this as quite high value. And on the other aspects of things, they also put an announcement on the 7th of January where they're using the same technology that they use for Electron, their rocket Electron, and basically they're just making some alterations, and then that's going to allow them to use it for testing for hypersonic test launches with the DO Department of Defense. So basically that's a really good sign too. Like, these guys are just firing on all fronts. Like, there's so many things that they can do with the technology, particularly rocket technology, that it just opens so many doors for them, and as time goes, their value just continues to build. So if there was a stock or the kind of business that you should be excited about, it's kind of Rocket Lab. The other one is SpaceX, but obviously you can't invest in SpaceX, so Rocket Lab is literally one of the best kind of like space kind of investments you'd probably make at the moment in terms of a public listed company. So yeah, like there's so many avenues for them to go into, so much growth. And the company is fundamentally sound because they are producing a lot of revenues. They're growing at a good pace. The management team, the founder, everything looks really, really solid. And you can't really say that about a lot of other companies. So that's the thing. Like, when it comes to investing, you're looking for a really solid company, and this is literally one of them. Like, that's not often you're going to find a company this solid. Obviously, as the share price goes up, the valuation goes up, and there is some risk of the stock price dropping if that happens, or if things go wrong, which they can with rockets, of course. But apart from that, they would just come back. So that's the really good thing about this type of company. They're at a phase where they built the business to a really good point where things will just continue to build and build. Even if there's failures or errors in between, things continue to build. They're not a startup, they're not a company that's just testing things with no revenues or anything to go on. They have solid revenues. They are growing continuously, and Neutron is just the next stage of things in terms of the company's future. And even if that gets delayed, things are still going to continue with Electron and all the other services. So yeah, basically sky's the limit for this company, and it's going to be an exciting year for them. I'm pretty excited. Hopefully you are. Let me know what your thoughts or any questions about this company. Until then, good luck investing, everyone.